South. I am your host, Mike Patton. Hopefully, you've had a great week. Hopefully, it's been pretty, I guess good for you. Hopefully the weather's been good for everybody. Of course, it's bouncing up and down in terms of like the great weather one time and horrible weather the next. So, could be rain, could be sunshine. We'll see. But yeah, just give me one sec. I'm getting everything all together, everybody. So bear with me real quick. All right. Let's see. Give me one sec, everybody. Getting myself together. All right. Now I'm ready. All right. Thank you all for tuning in for another edition of Touring the AFC South. Again, like I said, my name is Mike Patton. I'll be your host. I'm always going to be your host. But yeah, just want to thank you all for tuning in on this Thursday night. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to come watch me, and I appreciate you. Just want to thank you all for tuning in this week. Of course, in the Touring the AFC South, we're going to touch on each team. Of course, with each team, they had some great signings during the free agency period. We had, of course, some new players get added to the AFC South, like Bud Dupree coming from Pittsburgh to the Tennessee Titans. You got Griffin coming from the Seattle Seahawks to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, you got the Colts signing back T.Y. Hilton, and you got the Houston Texans signing everybody and their mom to 1 and 2 year deals. So there you go. That's what you have. But in those signings, did you all notice that those teams still have holes? I mean, no team is going to be complete before the draft, but it's pretty easy to point out the holes in those teams. So tonight, the name of the show is The Missing Link. What is that one piece you could give your team or any of these teams to put them in perfect position to be as successful as they can be? Whether that be winning, 8 games or maybe winning the conference. Hey, I'm not going to say every team is one piece away because we all know that's not the truth when it comes to the Houston Texans, and that might not sincerely be the truth for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So, we're going to leave it at that. We're going to keep it on that level right now. But let's see. We're going to start off, since I'm in Nashville, we're going to start off with the Tennessee Titans. Of course, they brought in Bud Dupree. They brought back J.L. Brown. They got rid of Malcolm Butler, got rid of Dory Jackson, which some people thought was, some people liked that move, some people didn't, which I was shocked that some people wanted the Dory Jackson to come back when he couldn't stay healthy, and when he was on the field, they were taking advantage of him. So I didn't understand that one, but hey, I'm just viewing what's going on and talking about that. So, I thought it was a great decision, and you got, a couple of the good defensive linemen, and one from, of course, Indianapolis, and then now you've got Bud Dupree, and you brought in Jack Rabbit, Janoris Jenkins from New Orleans Saints. So, I mean, they've got some pieces they've added. Of course, it hurts to lose Jonnu Smith and Corey Davis. That's like that's two of your pieces that made your offense what it was. When they weren't kind of freezing out John. I'm just joking. They weren't freezing out Jonnu Smith, but it did seem like he kind of disappeared in a little bit further as the season went on. But they replaced Corey Davis with Josh Reynolds, which I thought was a solid deal. I think with more playing time, he will be a very good contributor for this team, and I think he'll put up very good numbers opposite AJ Brown. I think with more opportunity. They kind of didn't replace the tight end position. They brought back Jeff Swaim and the other name of the tight end escapes me right now. So it's targeted to my mind, not my heart. But anyway, but they're not as dynamic as Jonnu Smith, so they're going to miss that. Another thing that I think they could do to make their team better, though, The slot position. The slot position last year, I mean, you had Adam Humphries playing the slot. He was the guy that they brought in. It was supposed to make this big difference, things like that. But he couldn't stay healthy. One. Secondly, he couldn't come up with those catches when you need them. I mean, of course, he took a massive hit against the Cincinnati Bengals, but he dropped that pass in the process as well. That could have put them in potential to not lose that game to the lowly Bengals, but they did. So they need to go get that guy to replace them. They need to go get that one guy. And I honestly, they could go get that guy in the draft. That'd be Mr. Kadarius Toney from the Florida Gators. I mean, I think that guy would be electric to put in the slot. You put him in the slot, you allow him to work against guys that are going to be giving him off coverage. By off coverage, that means basically, they're not going to be right in his face. And you can do so many different things with him, and he's so electric with the football. And the thing also with getting him or potentially adding him, that is a need that they have. But what it also does is it continues to allow the Tennessee Titans to become more balanced offensively. Now, the thing that people look at with the Tennessee Titans is, hey, you stop Derrick Henry, you stop their offense. Now, a few times last year, they were able to make things happen off of not off play action, but just get a few things done in the passing game, makes things happen. Hey, but to continue to develop their offense, they definitely need to add another weapon in the wide receiver game, or excuse me, wide receiver core. And Toney would be that guy. I think he would be electric for them. By the way, I'm doing this broadcast from the HAPS TV app. If you haven't joined the app, go ahead, subscribe, join in, be a sponsor for me. Hey, I like money. I like being paid to do this. So if you want to pay me to do this, like my guy Ted, drop me $1 with the Teamwork Award. Appreciate you, Ted. But just if you want to subscribe or join in, just hey, more than welcome. And then let's see, I got another comment from it's from Twitter. It's the Drop Balls Podcast. What's going on, man? Said my boy who was a Titans fan is high on Toney. Oh boy, yeah, he hopefully they'll do better with this draft pick than they did last year. We're not going to mention that guy's name. We're just hoping he's getting the help he needs. That's all we're going to do right now. But but yeah, the Toney pick would definitely fill a need for the Titans. As they fill their pass rushing need, they're already pretty deep at the cornerback spot with guys they had, and bringing in a couple guys, one guy from Cleveland, and of course Janarius Jenkins. So, another thing I would say, maybe offensive line, maybe there, but no, I've still got issues with them bringing back an offensive tackle that was a backup for it. I just didn't understand that one. Now, I guess you got a competition for the third offensive tackle, or I don't know. But anyway, it is what it is. I mean, you could have put Cusenberry in there. You could have let Tyson Sombrero go, but that's it's what the Titans wanted to do, and I guess you can't have enough offensive tackles, and you got Taylor Lewan, and you got the new guy from Cleveland, and now you got two others, I guess, battling that out for the third tackle spot. It is what it is, I guess. But one of those guys better be able to play more positions than tackle. That's just my thought. But anyway, let's move on to the next team. We got the Houston Texans. Now, I know you're thinking, with the Houston Texans, we could go anywhere in the world with the Houston Texans. They don't have the most solid quarterback position right now. Of course, some of that not due to anything on the field, but they've got Tyrod Taylor there. They brought in they traded for a quarterback from the Ryan Finley, from the Cincinnati Bengals. And then you have Watson, and we all know what's going on there and where he wants to be, and that's not on the Houston Texans roster. Wide receiver position, they bring in Chris Conley from the Jacksonville Jaguars, which I don't really like that move, but it is what it is. They have Brandon Cooks, who is a solid wide receiver, but he's not number one. They still got Randall Cobb. He's still hanging in there. Like the old church song says, I'm still holding on. And that's what he's doing too. So, It's just a lot going on there. Defensively, they made a trade. They traded one of the best linebackers for an edge pass rusher. We'll see what happens there. But what has hurt the Houston Texans year after year after year that they've never really fully addressed? That would be their offensive line. I know they went out and got Justin Britt, brought him in, and those type of things. It is what it is. But you still have to address that line. I mean, it's just bad. It's just bad. You looked around last year. The last 3 years, you've seen Deshaun Watson running around and making plays like he's running around scrambling like he's Fran Tarkenton back there. Quarterbacks shouldn't have to do that all the time. So when they get their pick, which they don't have a first-round pick because they traded for, you guessed it, an offensive lineman, Laramie Tunsil, and of course I call him the false start king. Hey, that's what I call him. But hey, he does some good things. Not trying to take away from the good things he does do, but he does false start a lot, and he does kind of rock in his stance, which it's amazing that he doesn't get called for more false starts than he does. Hey, how you doing, Heavenly Dude? Checking in from Dallas. Good to see you. Um, going forward with the Texans, they need to invest in the offensive line because it doesn't matter who is playing quarterback. They're not going to be doing much if they're seeing all the stars and the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper and all those things too, and they can tell you where they are and what time they're going to come out. Yeah, that's a problem if your quarterback can do that. So, Texans, I'm going to need you to share that out one of these days. Maybe this century, maybe this decade. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hopefully you will. And hopefully for the next quarterback, hopefully Tyrod Taylor, if he's happens to be their starter, hopefully he actually gets a solid shot and the offensive line actually plays solid football. I'm not saying they're gonna be great, but we'll see what happens. That's all I'm going to say there. All right. As far as the next thing we got, of course, we have got the Indianapolis Colts. Now, the Colts did not do a ton in free agency. Of course, they replaced their offensive tackle with essentially a backup offensive tackle from the Chargers. They brought in a pass rusher or an outside linebacker, which not many people know his name, Isaac Rochelle, but hey, not many people know who he is. So, I'm sorry. Then they did sign Rhodes back to play corner. They did also bring back T.Y. Hilton. Okay, and I'm sorry, and Marlon Mack, which I don't understand why they brought back Marlon Mack, but hey, do what you do, Colts. It ain't my paycheck. It ain't my pocketbook. It's your pocketbook that's paying some of these players to come back. But that's neither here nor there. One thing I do think that they need and that they should be looking at in this draft, pass rusher. Pass rusher. They need one on the outside bad. Their best pass rusher last year on the outside, Justin Houston, a veteran outside linebacker from the University of Georgia. But yeah, a veteran outside linebacker nonetheless. But anyway, he's not there anymore. And there's been rumors he's going to sign with the Ravens, but we'll see what happens there. But anyways, they still need somebody on the outside and a young guy. I've heard Kwity Paye's name. I've heard I've heard a few names there at that position, but anybody, they need them. They need them right now. So, yeah, I would say, yeah, they definitely need to add a pass rusher to continue to grow that defense and make them as good as they can be. Let's see. As far as, anything else, I would say, potentially corner because, you can never have enough good cornerback play in the NFL. That's something that you definitely have to look at with them potentially as well because, Rhodes is not going to be out there forever. We know he is in the back nine or maybe the back last few shots of his career. So yeah, I just don't. It is what it is. Ah, there we go. I've got the Drop Balls podcast commenting again, and he said, "I agree. I don't know why Mac is back with us. I would also love to get a receiver too." Well, that could be an option. That could be an option. I'm just thinking it's if they didn't get a receiver, the Colts didn't get a receiver, and they got either a corner or a pass rusher. I think they still would be okay. They still could probably hang on and maybe get a pass rusher late. I mean, not pass rusher late, but a wide receiver late, and still would be okay in my opinion. But I mean, I'm of course I'm not the GM, but I will say this: I probably could play one a little better than your former general manager there, Chris. I'm talking about already. I couldn't help but throw that joke at Mr. Grigsby. So I couldn't help it. But last but certainly not least, we've got the Jacksonville Jaguars. Man, they were spending some money. You know, honestly, just Jacksonville, just you know, just want to tell you, you know, if you need somebody to kind of, you want to pay me to come down there and kind of fill the water bottles up and be around the team, hey, I'll do that, man. I'll do that for you, man. Make me the highest paid water boy or equipment manager in the league. Since you paying all these players and then y'all got the wide open pocketbook down there. That's all I'm gonna say. I can be the best equipment manager, water boy in the league if you give me an opportunity. But let's get back to it. Okay, they did pay Griffin. Um, they did pay Griffin to play corner. They paid him top 5 corner money. So we're gonna see if that means Greasy when he is outside of Seattle. So we're gonna see if that's the case. Then they brought in, they brought in a couple guys. Let's see. Let me think who all they brought in. Well, they're gonna bring in a quarterback. We know that. They're gonna bring in. They brought in Carlos Hyde, which I'm sorry I laughed a little bit, but I still remember the stories told by one of our guests on the show, John Reed, about him and his first time in Jacksonville when he didn't want to get on the field. But we'll go into that another time. But that was a pretty interesting story. But they brought in let's see, brought in wide receiver Marvin Jones. I mean, they brought in a lot of different pieces to help them. But one thing I still don't get, and I talked about this last week, and I want to talk about it again. Why do you bring in Manhurts to play defense, tight end? Why do you re-sign whoever you re-sign down there? And neither one of them has caught over 30 passes in a season. What's going on? I mean, honestly, if they could find a way to get Pitts from Florida, which is not going to happen, it's a pipe dream, but that would be ideal for them because he would come in and ultimately be the best player on the best tight end on the team from the moment he's drafted. So, but that's neither here nor there. But I know what's right now, and I know what's right now, and basically they need a tight end badly, very, very bad. And I don't know what's going on or who told Urban Meyer that Chris Manhurts was going to be the answer at tight end, but no, he's not. He might be the answer in the running game, the block for James Robinson, but if he catches 3 passes in one game, you know what I'm gonna do, y'all? I might mess around and call Vegas and put in a bet and play the lottery that day. And then what I'm also gonna do is I'm gonna see if John Reed can get close enough to Manhurts and ask him if he's got the winning lottery numbers. Because if he catches 3 passes in one game, I need the winning lottery numbers from him. I need that stat. I would love to, be rich and disappear like Kaiser Sose in The Usual Suspects. That's what I would love to do. But hey, a man can dream, but that dream ain't happening tomorrow right now. So it is what it is. Oh, I got a question. It's outside of the AFC South, but I'll definitely take time to answer this question. Got a question from Heavenly Dew about what are the Philadelphia Eagles looking like for next season. I will say this. Jalen Hurts, it is your time to shine, sir. It is your time to shine, Mr. Jalen Hurts. And if you're going to shine, you need to look to that guy, to either your right or your left. And that would be Mr. Jalen Rager. Now, I'm still mad. I'm still mad at the Eagles because they had a chance to draft the best wide receiver in the class, Jordan Jefferson, and they let him go. I don't get it. I mean, does Howie Roseman have something against drafting talented wide receivers? I mean, I still remember, do they think Andy Reid's there to kind of make these wide receivers look better than what they are? Do they really? I mean, that's my thinking. But I'm just trying to think what Howie was talking about. I like Jalen Rager, but I liked Jordan Jefferson better. I liked him better, but it's not Rager's fault they drafted him there. It's not his fault, and I'm not ragging on him. I just think at that pick they should have got Jordan Jefferson. But I'm not a GM. I may play one sometime, and I may from time to time sleep at the Holiday Inn, but I'm not a GM in real life. So it just is what it is. But they could have got something better. They need a little help. They need a little help, especially in that offensive line. So I mean, having Jalen Hurts back there is going to help because he can avoid some of them. But I don't want him in a Deshaun Watson type situation where he's running around like Fran Tarkenton making plays happen. Nah, that ain't good for business. And eventually you can run so many times, but eventually you're going to get caught one good time. And that could be a life-changing hit if that happens. Yeah, it could be. But it is what it is. So, okay. Got a suggestion for a tight end, I believe, for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Pat Muth. I'm sorry, that's how you spell it. Man, look, Chris, you got me with that one, man. I tried to say that name great, and it just didn't come out right. But anyway, that guy, hey, he'd probably go there and he'd probably start too. I mean, Jacksonville is that bad at the tight end position. I mean, just to give you a thought, there are still some Jacksonville Jaguars fans, and this is not from me. This is from a guy that covers the team that told me this. There are still some Jacksonville fans that think it was a horrible move to get rid of Mercedes Lewis. Yes, Mercedes Lewis. He of 157 years old, still playing tight end for the Green Bay Packers. Yes, they thought it was a mistake to get rid of him. So that tells you what has been going on, or what exactly hasn't been going on at that tight end position. Oh, you said, I'm sorry, Heavenly Dew said that's fam. Oh, it's family. Oh, okay, then. I mean, I like his game in terms of his speed, but I don't know what to say about Philly's management. I just don't. I don't know what to say. I still want to know what's the scenario with the last game of the season. True enough, Giants should have won more games, and they can't be just upset and mad because the Eagles didn't win a game for them so they could get in the playoffs. But that last game was just weird, man. The Eagles, I don't know what was going on with that game. I don't know. I don't know. Then I thought it was a whole organizational decision. Then all of a sudden, Doug Peterson gets fired, and I'm like, okay, what is going on? But hey, good luck with that coach y'all got. I still don't remember him or his name. I just remember his press conference. He looked a little nervous there, buddy. Keep hope alive, and and you may want to kind of, I don't know, settle your nerves or something. I don't know what was going on with you at that press conference, but oh boy, that's pretty darn interesting. It really was. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, he's starting out where his dad left off. Oh, so his dad. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. God, this is a comment about Rager. I'm sorry. I believe said he's starting off where his dad left off. Huh. That's interesting. I mean, wow. Okay. Well, we probably all can guess. Honestly, do I think what the odds are? I'm sorry, the odds are that he's probably not going to end his career where his dad left off. But we'll see what happens with that. Well, we've been here about half an hour. I know everybody's got other things to do. Some people got to go to bed. Some people got some work to do. Some people got some writing. But yeah, definitely thank you all for tuning in. This has been another edition of Touring the AFC South. My name is Mike Patton. You can catch me on Twitter at Mike Patton82. That's again Mike Patton82. You can also catch me on at the Tennessee Tribune, which is tntribune.com. I write there, freelance writer there. Also, you can catch me on the Nashville Voice, writing there. That's thevoicenashville.com if you want to look that up. Definitely wrote an article on this next man I'm going to talk about before I get out of here. Almost forgot. Congratulations to former Tennessee Titans running back Eddie George. As you hear the crowd, Eddie, 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 Eddie. Yeah, that's what the crowd usually would be yelling when Eddie made a big run and jumped up and got feisty. That's what they would do. But yeah, he was recently named the head coach at HBCU, Nashville, Tennessee State University, and now he will be leading the Tennessee State Tigers on the field next fall. Congratulations. Also, it's rumored that Jeff Fisher will be his advisor to the coach, as well as Jeff Fisher's son, Brandon Fisher, is rumored to be the defensive coordinator. Also, another one that yesterday I put out there, and it basically Hugh Jackson confirmed it. He's going to be the offensive coordinator. Former NFL head coach Hugh Jackson is going to be the offensive coordinator for Eddie George. So they get names. They hopefully will be getting games, and they hopefully will start to restore the roar over there. And they're calling it Roar City now. That's the new I would say hashtag. But we're still gonna go with Big Blue Rising as well too. So congratulations to Eddie George. He said he wanted to bring them back and bring Tennessee State back. And man, hey, congratulations to him. And hopefully he's able to do what he said he wanted to do. He said he put his name on it, y'all. He puts his name on it that he's trying to do that. I'm like, you don't put your name on everything. So he said he put his name on that one. So we're gonna see what happens. I'll certainly be there and have a front seat to watch all of it, and I certainly can't wait until the fall and the Southern Heritage Classic when those same Tennessee State Tigers head to Memphis to take on the Jackson State Tigers, who are led by Deion Sanders. So yes, there will be a Deion Sanders versus Eddie George duel, and I'm pretty sure the energy will be electric in the fall for that one. Again, I'm Mike Patton. Thank you all for tuning in. If you haven't, join the Haps app. Go ahead, check it out. If you like to broadcast, you can broadcast here, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, all at the same time from one place. That's here, the Haps app. So go ahead and subscribe if you want to be a sponsor of mine. Please do, drop something in the collection plate. While I drop these AFC South sermons, and and the doors are open right now. But yeah, just thank you all for tuning in. I'm gonna call it a night, and I'll see you right back here next week, and we'll be talking more touring the AFC South. I'm out. You have a great, great night.